Alright, well we find ourselves underneath a Jeep Grand Cherokee Laredo today, and we're doing the fuel filters. We'll have a good look at the vehicle otherwise, but yes, we have access to a hoist here, which certainly makes this easier. In the description there is a link to a video that I learnt where to do this from. This is my first time doing this, so we've got to take the drain plug out first. Now this is basically our fuel bowl. We're draining into a container down here. So we're going to let the diesel drain out first and drop our ratchet.
1 hour later. 2 hours later. 3 hours later.
Now while our diesel's draining out, we established that this is a 27mm socket, same as the oil filter elements. I really hope we're not going to drain out the entire 90 litres out of the fuel tank. Now we have ourselves two new fuel filter elements. They come in a twin set, which is an R2745P, and we've got a dog coming in to help us out here too. That's okay. After you were told you weren't supposed to jump the fence, but I guess we've got help. Right. Diesel flow is slowing down. We'll give this a couple of minutes.
1 eternity later.
Okay, I'm not sure if this is going to drain the entire capacity of the fuel out. It doesn't seem to be slowing down any, so we might just whip this out. Oh, and just as I say that, it finally runs out. So that fuel bowl there has got a lot of capacity in it. We're going to rip these out. Slowly, yeah, see, there we go, it finally emptied out. We'll see if we can just break this one loose. Hopefully this is as quick a job as they say. This one is a little dry. Now this vehicle we got second hand after our first Jeep had an accident, or was involved in one, and is a write-off. Yep, we're going to get diesel all over our hands, but I got diesel oil all over my hands earlier. Problem is, I'm under a hoist here and this is running down my elbow and inside my shirt. Not ideal. This is where GoPro voice control is good. So we've got that plenty loose. Can we pop that out? There we go. Alright. That has some extra thing on that one. That's an unusual fuel filter I haven't seen before. Oh, diesel in the armpits. I have to drive this thing home. My financial manager will not be happy if the interior stinks like diesel. Okay, that's the top of the filter element. There's the bottom. We might need a pair of pliers. There we go. There's our filter element. Okay, so there is a visual difference between the two filters here. They do look kind of different. This one's got definitely a finer screen on it, but this is definitely a higher flow. I wonder if that will help at all. This one does have a bit of junk built up on it, but we're going to put these in anyway and see how they go. All right. This one in. There's what looks like, let's have a look up in there. There is a little section for it to go up there. There's a fine screen and everything. So it appears that the fuel is injected down the middle here, and there's a rubber gasket there. So we'll push that up gently, do it up finger tight, do it up a little bit firmer with this. Now the fuel filter calls for 25 Newton meters. These, I think I have a Newton meter rating on the top. Let's have a look here. So the other cap calls for 20 Newton meters. That's only 2 kilograms of force. And normally I would say you lubricate the seal with diesel, but literally everything in here is lubricated with diesel right now. Put it in righty-tighty mode. And we really only need to just push gently once we do it up. These tend to come up to a stop, and that's as far as you go. That's come to a stop. that's about 2 kilos of force. We really don't need any more than that, because it's 10 newtons per kilogram. All right, that's about 2 kilograms on that. Now we tighten this up, and when we park it in the driveway, we check for leaking diesel. Same kind of force with this, you just do it till it stops. Just firm it just a tiny bit. That's all you need. Be prepared to get covered in diesel. Alright, and make sure to use one of the rubber mats for all the diesel contaminated stuff. There was quite a bit of diesel in here. There's probably about 1.5 litres of diesel come out, and that is not strapped down. So let's put that somewhere where we won't walk over it, hopefully, and move this all out of the way. Now, because I'm fat, this little extra bit of room here makes a difference. We're going to hook this up about 1/2 inch. There we go, I can get a fraction of an inch more out of the door on the rubber stop. Now I'm definitely going to need to do some cleaning. Everything I'm touching is getting diesel on it. May not be popular. Okay, so we're going to keep our foot off the pedal here. I'm going to turn the ignition on and just let it pump up the fuel pressure. I can hear the fuel pump running. So it's still running a bit. Right, the fuel pump has stopped. Going to turn the ignition off again. We're going to go back to accessory, then ignition again. Fuel pump's running again. We'll let it run until it stops, and then we'll try and start it. Okay, fuel pump has stopped the second time. Put our foot on the brakes. Let's see if she starts. There we go. We started up just nice. Now we're going to reverse out of the shed and try not to kill my mate's dog. Alright, so that's the fuel filters done in it. And in the process we discovered the upper passenger side ball joint is pretty much unserviceable. That's a roadworthy item, so the dealership that sold it to us probably should have fixed that, because they're the ones that got the roadworthy done. So we'll be talking to them. Anyway, we're going to let this air out. We're going to clean some diesel marks off things, and hopefully it drives better.